Welcome to Brew's Corner. This is Professor Brew. The topic today is the concept of self-talk. Alright, so self-talk, and what is it? What are the components that go into self-talk? And I think athletes that play sports, coaches, leaders, I think this is a concept that can be taught. And so what are the components that go into self-talk? Well, use motivation. You are your best friend, but also your worst enemy when you are playing a sport, especially an individual sport like tennis or bowling or golf, or a pitcher on a pitcher's mound in a team sport. But pitcher, it's a lonely spot in a baseball field. But you've got to be able to motivate yourself in a positive way in those positions, in those sports. Giving yourself pep talks. Again, you're your best friend, worst enemy. So positive pep talks, positive motivation is key for athletes to be mentally strong, mentally tough during tough situations and during adversity. It should be practiced just like a skill, any kind of reps. It should be something that is practiced so that it becomes natural to self-talk. I think players that play team sports can use self-talk as well. So the next thing we should be using self-talk for is reminders. And what would that be? Reminding yourself of a fundamental that you're not doing correctly. Reflecting on a situation in a game that you've recognized before that you're now going to apply the correct strategy or the correct fundamental skill to execute it. Great athletes self-talk and they use the components correctly. They use it to motivate. They use it to give themselves reminders either on fundamentals, adverse situations they've been in before, or a strategy. And those athletes use the concept of self-reflection too. If you reflect, it shows that you're learning. It shows that you're processing, okay, this is what I did wrong. This is what I got to correct. This is the adjustment I have to make. And the next time I'm in this situation, I'm going to use the fundamentals correctly. Or I'm going to use the correct decision to execute the skill. So you can verbalize that to yourself in your mind, or you can openly talk to yourself. Again, you are your best friend in sport. And we as coaches and leaders have to share those concepts. This is what self-talk is. This is how you use self-talk. We can't just use it in plain general terms. We have to practice self-talk. We have to have our athletes go do exercises. We need to put them in situations where they are using self-talk. Again, great sports that really demonstrate self-talk. Look at professional tennis players. They're always using the concept of self-talk. Golfers use the concept of self-talk. You watch Tiger Woods, he gives himself reminders on the golf course of a fundamental that he's not doing correctly, so he's doing the motion of how to correct it. Watch volleyball players. If they're hitting, or they're passing, they're trying to correct their skill by giving themselves reminders. That's good, positive self-talk. All right? So when we teach self-talk, we got to go into detail. We got to be specific. Self-talk is motivating yourself in a positive way. Self-talk is focusing on the fundamentals of executing a skill. Self-talk is, here's what I need to do in a certain situation. Here's what I need to do when I'm under this pressure and adversity again. And if I give myself positive, motivational, instructional self-talk, I'm going to be a much better player, and my mental game's going to be stronger and tougher. Let's be honest, the mental game is half the battle. And if we teach self-talk, and I don't think in today's professional sports, collegiate sports, youth sports, we do it enough. It has to be repetition, so they exercise it during gameplay. So, to review, self-talk should be used to motivate. Okay, I'm on the field. I make a great hit in volleyball. Yes, you pump your fist. Yeah, do it again the next time you get a set. Saying things like that, right? Getting yourself fired up, okay? Okay, I mishit a ball out of bounds. All right. I wasn't high and tight, and I didn't have a fast wrist snap to put that ball down. I know to give myself a reminder the next time I go up and hit a ball for volleyball. These are just examples. Now you're giving yourself fundamental reminders to execute the skill. Okay, in this situation, in basketball, I turned it over because I was double teamed and pressured. Well, I'm going to know what I'm going to do with the ball before I'm double teamed. I'm going to reverse it, or I'm going to make the smarter, better decision when I pass the basketball, and I'm not going to put myself under that adverse situation again. I'm going to verbally tell myself, hey, don't wait for the trap. Know what you're going to do with the ball, get rid of it. You're going to verbally tell yourself in that situation how you're going to handle it. Under adversity, you're going to talk. You're going to tell it to yourself. Okay? That is teaching self-talk, and that is something we need to do for our athletes in sport from here on out. I think it will be helpful for an athlete's mental game and emotional state. You're going to make your players stronger mentally and emotionally. So a little bit of a short synopsis on what self-talk is. I'm Professor Brew. This has been Brew's Corner. Tout it.